What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review of the Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't even know what season we on anymore. Okay, season 7, episode 6. So this episode for me was really a filler. They gave us the best part and a sneak peek, which was the whole conflict with Candace mentioning about Ashley's husband allegedly being with a man. So let's go back. They still arguing, and Candace sort of throws this bomb out there. The fact that you took it so casually, Ashley, tells me a couple of things. Number one, it tells me that that's not the first time you've heard it, which we know it's not the first time you've heard it, because Michael has been connected to scandals involving other men on at least one other occasion that we know about, probably more. So Ashley took it way too calm as far as I'm concerned. And she was like, see, the pendulum always swings. The pendulum always swings, which again makes me feel like y'all are coming for her. Then you bring up your friend who says that Chris was flirting with her and was in her inbox. And once again, the producers show how Chris was paying this woman no attention. Okay? We see Ashley talking to Wendy because, remember, they rode together because Wendy ended it, child. When they got to talk about Michael involving himself in sexual acts with another man, Wendy was like, well, I'm so glad we had this time together. Get home safe. Thank you, come from now. God bless you. Good night. Okay? Now, as we get to talking, we hear Ashley saying, I just think that Candace should know. I'm not trying to cause no problems. And I'm like, but you absolutely are. Like, you were literally just with this woman in her home. And, girl, you're not going to sit here and tell me, oh, you just found out this information. That's bull hockey. If the woman felt that way, the woman said it. Like, whatever. Moving on. So then, Candace sits down to talk to Giselle, which I don't even understand why you sat down and had this conversation. Giselle ain't going to change what she said. She's not going to change her intent, her meaning, her thought, none of that. And you talking to Chris and Chris saying the exact opposite. Now, personally, I don't think Chris is guilty, but the reality is, of course, that's what he's going to say. He's not going to admit to, well, yeah, I did lure Giselle into a room by ourselves with the door closed with ill intent. Like, of course, he's going to be like, well, I don't remember that, and I didn't do that. And so it's really his word against hers. You're going to believe your husband. That conversation was unnecessary, other than probably production telling y'all needed to have it. Of course, the conversation ended with Candace in tears, crying. She said, she feels like Giselle set her up to purposely have that conversation on air to create a moment. She said, if you really felt like that, you could have came and talked to me. You could have called me. My husband has been nothing but nice to you, and you could have just handled it better. And of course, Giselle was like, girl, I just wanted you to know that, he's making the women in the group feel uncomfortable, and maybe he needs to adjust himself accordingly. Whatever. We see the play. So then Ashley finally goes and talks to an attorney about what her rights are, what her rights are not, as far as Michael is concerned. Listen, at the end of the day, a couple of things are happening here. In my opinion, because I don't know for certain. They have to be legally separated for a year before the divorce is final. A lot can happen in a year. Now, I'm not talking about reconciliation. I just mean a lot can happen in a year. And I honestly feel like, and Candace sort of alluded to that. She said, listen, I want to wait until we're a little bit closer to that 1 year mark before we start talking about money and all of that. She basically is like, listen, I don't feel like the conversation is going to go well, and I don't want to piss him off because he's still taking care of me right now, and he's taking care of the kids, and I really don't want to make it ugly. That's really what it boils down to, in my opinion. The attorney basically told her, listen, the person who has the financial advantage is usually the person that's like, we don't need to talk to a lawyer. We can just work it out ourselves. And Ashley's thing is, I'm going to let Michael bring me a proposal, and if I feel like it's a good proposal and that he's not trying to take advantage of me, then we don't have to pull out the prenup. We don't have to go to the prenup, and I don't have to pull out the big guns. Girl, then what you do it for? Like, you was married to this man who was 50 years older than you to begin with. You had 2 babies. You dealt with infidelity. What you do all that for if you ain't walking away with nothing? Or walking away with what you could walk away with? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. But the attorney basically let her know, listen, you know, you really do need to. And then she asked her about buying the house in the LLC, and her attorney was like, yeah, that's not a good idea right now. Probably not your best move. And Ashley was like, you know, you're really making a lot of sense. I mean, Google didn't tell me any of this. Girl, she was like, I didn't go to law school. I didn't get my law degree from Google. Like, girl, what are you talking about? Of course Google didn't tell you this. You know, but ultimately, I just think Ashley needs to talk to an attorney and let an attorney handle it. You ain't the first rich couple to get divorced in Virginia. Everybody else has had to maneuver around this 1 year being single, legally separated with a prenup. Like, in Virginia, girl, are you crazy? Do you know how many rich people live in Virginia that have had to deal with this? Get you an attorney and let the attorney handle it. And whatever the relationship is between you and Michael is going to be what it is between you and Michael. Moving on. Later on in the episode, she says Michael got mad at her because she asked about the LLC, and he was like, I can't believe you would think I would try to do something to take advantage of you. See, when they start getting all excited and mad like that over you just asking a simple question, you need to have somebody watching your back. Because it sounds like that he is trying to get in where he fit in. But anyway, Mia takes Jacqueline and Sharice to the spa. She tells them that they're going to Miami for a trip to Miami. She talks about how she likes Sharice. Well, of course, she throws shade in there about Sharice's eyelashes always being messed up. But you know, that's Mia, child. She don't know how to say something without throwing a jab. Sharice asks about her health. We have to hear again. She got the swollen lip noise. We're going to Miami, child. We're going to Miami. And the rest of the trip is about Miami. We see Giselle, Ashley, and Robin. They go shopping. Of course, they have to recap everything that happened down to the winery. And they're talking about the trip and who's going to get along with who and who's not going to get along with who. That's when Ashley tells them about Michael and the LLC and how he got mad about it and got mad about her asking about it. And again, they were like, now do you understand why we were asking you these questions? Now do you understand why we were trying to figure out what you were doing? Like, now do you get it? Because it just didn't make sense. I don't think it makes sense to anybody in America that you would buy a house with a man you about to divorce. Now, I don't know nothing about rich people problems, so I don't understand all the rich people do with LLCs and all that to do this and do that. But I'm sorry, just in plain Jane language, it don't make sense, okay? Wendy has a conversation with her husband, and once again, Eddie tells her, you're doing too much, I'm going to need you to chill out, you don't need to invest. And she was like, well, I've basically put that investment, the restaurant, on hold. Now, later on in the episode, like at the very, very end of the episode, we see Mia talking to Peter, and Peter saying, did I say Michael? I meant Peter Thomas. Peter. We see Peter saying, oh yeah, you tell Wendy me and her got beef. So I feel like they're going to drag this out that either Wendy did not tell Peter that she wasn't going to do the restaurant, or didn't handle that properly, and Peter is like thinking that they were about to go into business together. But my thing is, if Wendy ain't signed no paperwork, then it don't matter. That's just how I feel about it. If Wendy ain't signed no paperwork, it don't matter. Like, Peter, you've been doing business long enough to know that a verbal conversation means absolutely nothing. There was no commitment. There was no exchanging of money. There was no meeting of the minds, at least as far as we know. Now, Wendy, if you done went and gave this man some money or gave this man some sort of a verbal agreement, then that's another conversation. But we got to wait till next week, because that was literally like the last thing we saw, okay? The ladies are split up. They get to Miami. They split them up into two different cars. They're, of course, trying to figure out this housing situation. So the house is in a neighborhood with a view of the water, but they are not on the beach. I'm like, okay. I mean, I feel like the house with a view of the water is nice. So then, let me tell you what I never need to see again. Let me just be very clear with y'all. And this goes for all of the Housewives franchises. This for all the reality shows. Can we not have people fighting over a damn room ever again? Like, at the end of the day, there are very few houses that are going to have bedrooms for every single person. Like, It's 9 of y'all. Or however many, 6, whatever. Like, y'all gonna have to double up. Sorry. Have y'all ever looked at an Airbnb listing and you trying to find enough beds for 8 or 9 people? You gonna be doubling up. Like, you gonna be doubling up. So Mia groups the ladies together, and of course, she has them grouped together by stripper names. So there's like the P Valley Room and the Queen of Diamonds and Show Wives instead of Show Girls. And I thought it was cute, and it was on brand with Mia being a freak and being a former scripper. You know, I'm not saying that freaks and scrippers are the same, 2 in 1. I'm just saying Mia is. Don't come for me. Then Ashley, because Candace is coming late because she's working on music. She's in the studio. So then Ashley decided she thought it would be fun to play a joke and play a prank on Candace with her room assignment. Why? Why? Y'all not getting along right now. Y'all are in a bad place. Y'all are probably in a worse place than y'all were last year. Why would you think it's going to be funny to play a prank on Candace and have Candace thinking that her and Wendy are sharing a room? Why would you think that's funny? It's just unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. Sharice don't like her room because she don't have a bathroom. She was like, listen, I didn't ask for much. All I asked for was my own room and a bathroom. I do feel like that's asking for a lot. But neither here nor there. She said she gonna stay at the hotel, child. Okay. Alright. Robert and Giselle are mad that they gotta share a room. They said, why do we always have to share a room? I know we friends and all, but I'm sick of it. Why we always gotta share a room? Because don't nobody else want to share a room with y'all. Nobody else wants to share a room with y'all. That's pretty much what that boils down to. Anyway, y'all, that is the episode. It really wasn't a lot. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a filler because I feel like they dropped some stuff that's going to take us to the next place. But it really wasn't a lot there because I'm not going to bore y'all with all of we went to the airport and then we were twerking in the lounge. And then, I'm not giving y'all all of that. It don't matter. Okay? Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.